Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and I do a video about how to stay motivated and focused while you're writing, or you're working on your writing project, your novel, because it's after NaNoWriMo for those of us who are still writing, or even if we're in the editing process. We're getting a little, maybe just a tiny bit burnt out, or we're being distracted by the holidays, and there's a lot going on. At least I know there is for me. So on a side note though, I ordered my new glasses today. They should be in right around the 29th or the 30th. I'm so excited. They take approximately 10 to 14 days. So as soon as I get them, I will share them so you can see them. How to stay motivated and focused. Well, the motivation part, when you're writing, you probably ought to think about why you're writing. I mean, are you writing the book because you want to get famous? You want to get published and make a bunch of money? Are you writing a book because you love writing, because you have a story to tell, because you've always wanted to write a book? If you're writing because you love writing, because you have a story to tell, then that's your motivation right there, and you just need to remember why and write. Every time you start to question it, just remember why you are writing to begin with. If not, then you might want to rethink why you're writing a book to begin with. So the focus part, and I think motivation also comes not only from within, from maybe not like why you're writing, but also, and I'm sorry, I should turn the phone off. It also comes from, you can be motivated by every time you pick up a book that you like, every time you read a book that you like, every time you look at your bookshelves, remember that this is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. You want to have your own book. You want to write your own book. You want to get your book on a shelf. That helps me tremendously. We're talking about focus now. Organization, time management, goals, all that good stuff. I mean, I could tell you the same thing everybody else has told you. Get organized. Figure out some kind of schedule that works for you. Manage your time. Write down your goals and make them happen. Whether it's a word count goal or pages per day or whatever, set up some kind of goal so that you're working towards it. But I think the main thing for focus is to stick to your guns. Remember why you're doing it in the first place. I mean, it's important, right? If you need to, shut off social media if that's what distracts you. YouTube, Netflix, books. I'm not saying you shouldn't read, you should. And there are days when I go where I'm really into the reading, and then I kind of take a little bit of a break from the writing, and I have to figure out like a balance. So for every hour or 2 hours that I read, I need to write at least half of that or the same amount, and sometimes that helps. Another thing for focus is to find your environment that works for you, an ideal environment, your niche, so to speak, in the writing. Be comfortable. Where you write needs to be comfortable. I tend to be more motivated and focused and at the desktop. But there are times when I grab the laptop and I'm in my pajamas and I'm on the bed or I'm on the recliner and I'm much more relaxed and I write. But most of the time I get the bulk of my work done right in here because I'm one of those people that needs quiet. But there are a lot of people who need noise, background noise. They listen to music, they write better in coffee shops or cafes or diners or whatever. They need some kind of background noise, and that's okay. To figure out whatever works for you. Another thing you might want to think about that is, making it comfortable for you. I have an ergonomic keyboard for my desktop, and I now have my new my new to me chair, which is much more comfortable, and that helps. But there are times when sitting at the desk like this is a little bit uncomfortable, so I'll go into another place. I'll sit at the dining room table with my laptop, or like I said, in my bedroom, or in the living room on the recliner, or elsewhere if I need to get out of this space with the four walls. And I do things around me that inspire me. I have my storyboard on the wall. I have a inspiration board on the wall. I have some creative inspiration stuff on the wall. I have the thing behind me that says we all have a story to tell. Those kinds of things. My writer's clock, which is instant writer, just add coffee. There are things like that that help keep me motivated, and that helps. Another thing I think that helps is if you have new shiny ideas that come to you while you're writing, just write them down in a notebook and then go on back to your novel and remember that they're there. You have them. You can always go back to them. If that shiny new idea bugs you a bit, write a little bit more about it on that same notebook, on that piece of paper, and then go back to your novel. It's easy to get distracted by the new shiny idea instead of finishing what you're working on, because you need to have some follow through. You need to finish your novel, because writing a novel isn't just about ideas and outlining and research. It's about writing the novel. You can't get to the editing stage really completely until you've written the novel. I mean, you can kind of proofread and go over chapters and kind of edit a little bit for plot holes, for spelling errors, for grammatical errors and stuff like that, a little bit per chapter or for every few chapters. But if you keep stopping, then eventually you'll start questioning yourself, especially when you get to around the midpoint or so, and then you think, oh, well, this is just not, I don't know, this isn't working, and then you set it to the side. That's not finishing your novel. So my suggestion is that you keep on trucking with the novel, and that you just write the shiny ideas down in a notebook or on a piece of paper, on a post-it note, an index card somewhere, stick it somewhere or something so you can go back to it later. Once you finish this novel, because once you finish your novel, you're going to need to take a little bit of a break from it so that you can refresh your mind, so that when you go back to it, you're not seeing and reading what you think, because chances are you're not going to get exactly what's actually written. You're going to get what's in your head, because what you know you wrote versus what you actually wrote, if you don't take a break from it, it's not the same. I'll suggest at least a week break before you go to editing once you finish. I tend to be one of those people that needs at least a couple of weeks off from it, because it's always in my head and I need a break from it. Last thing, if you are like me and you suffer from ADHD or anything remotely like that, distraction, procrastination, my suggestion is to get focused, to just think about how much you can accomplish in an hour. Even if you're only writing for an hour, how much you can get accomplished that you wouldn't have otherwise. And shut off social media if you need to. No internet, and just write for an hour. Just an hour, just write for an hour. And that will help. It really will. On the days when I know that I'm not going to have all day, or for a few hours I'm not going to have that time, then I'll usually just give myself at least 1 hour and I write. And I don't pay any attention to social media. It's pretty much on the back burner, like turned off sometimes even. And I just write for an hour. And however much I get done, it's however much I get done. Sometimes I put a goal, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll say, well, I need to get so many words, but most of the time I just write for that hour. I get engrossed in the novel, usually when I do it that way, and I write. So I think, other than saying you just need to get your butt in the chair and write, you pretty much just really need to get your butt in the chair and write. So I hope that helps. I don't know what else to say, because people are discussing writer's block. It does exist. It doesn't exist. I personally believe that we sometimes cause ourselves to feel blocked and suffocated because we're overwhelmed, we're anxious, we're stressed out, we're tired, we're exhausted, we're burnt out, or we're afraid. We're afraid that the story's not going to be good enough. We let the self-doubt eat at us. Sometimes you just need to turn all that off and just say, okay, it doesn't matter how shitty it is. It doesn't matter what. I'm motivated. I'm going to write this novel. I'm going to finish it. I'm focused on just writing, just getting some words down on the page. And if they're crap, then they're crap. And if they're not, then they're not. But I'm going to focus on getting some parts of this story down on the page. Just that. So I hope that helps. I hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.